much better. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for jumping on to Queensland Health Upcoming Jobs. Just before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys a couple of things. So this webinar is being recorded. So we're just giving you a heads up. Second, we encourage everyone that's on this webinar to ask questions. You would see a button on your screen. You can actually send through a question to us to use the Q&A box. So it should be on your right-hand side of your screen. So just please let us know if you have a question, send it through during this webinar. We would also allocate some time after, at the end, to answer some of your questions that you guys have sent through. There is also another button that you can actually raise your hand. I'm happy to, if you don't understand or need some more clarity around what I'm about to talk about, there is a button that you can actually raise your hand and send through that question straight away, and we can actually answer it right then and there. Awesome. So we'll get started. So welcome everybody. So I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. So my name is Donna Kilimete. I am the account manager government. So part of what I do is work alongside major employers. So big employers in regards to managing vacancies that they have given through to us. Also part of what we do is screen, collect, and then present suitable candidates that are interested for these roles to the employer. It can be either direct recruit, or we can actually pop you through a program that'll also assist with making you successful for those opportunities. All right, again, if you have any questions, Colin, yes, you can absolutely use that chat as well. We have one job seeker that cannot hear me. Have you? We will send the recording. We will send the recording to you. Maybe do you need to turn your volume up? I'm not too sure, but send through your questions. Is it Tejan? Tejan, apologies if I can't get your name right. Send through your questions if you have any questions to us. But yes, we'll definitely send the recording to everyone that has jumped on to this webinar. All right, awesome. So we are here for Queensland Health. So just a quick summary about the employer. They are the largest employer in Queensland. They do a massive recruit 3-4 times a year. And then they also do direct hire between these massive recruits. So we currently assist Queensland Health with 17 hospitals in their operational service assistance department, as well as their food services. And currently we are tapping into the AIN positions as well. They're very open to disability candidates, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander, mainstream, everyone. They are very, what you like to call it, they love having new people on. So that's why they do these massive recruits. So the hospitals that are recruiting in the next couple of months, probably a month or so. So we've got Metro North. So STARS facility, there is a new hospital going up at Hurston. So they're right next to Royal Brisbane. Royal Brisbane is also hiring, and a Prince Charles at Chermside. So that's on the north side. So Metro South PA Hospital is hiring again. And we've also got QE2 Hospital. And also in Ipswich. So on the west side, we have Westmoreland, Ipswich Hospital, and Woolston Park at Goodna. So these hospitals are currently hiring in the next month. So part of this webinar is to actually chat about the requirements, what they need from you, and how to be successful. So the roles we actually got is operational service assistants. So it's cleaning and patient handling. So back in the day, they used to call it a wardsman. It is now called operational service assistants. So you're moving something or someone somewhere. So it can either be in equipment, it can either be a patient for x-ray, or moving them to another room. So you're literally moving something or someone somewhere. So patient support officer is also cleaning and patient handling. However, with a patient support officer, cleaning is initiated to the role. So you could be cleaning the rooms, that includes bathrooms. It can be the foyer, anything. So you will have some shifts that you are cleaning, and then some shifts where you are a patient support handler. Westmoreland, very same. Also, they have food services. So food services is you're either in the kitchen. You could either be prepping the meals. You could be, they have 3 different types. So you either can do tea and coffee, which is during the day where you're actually prepping the trays and taking it up to the wards, or you could be delivering their meals, or you could be in the kitchen. So those are the roles that are currently up and coming at Queensland Health. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Taejang. So she got it sorted. These employment commences December, January. That's why we're having this webinar, is to get yourself, you guys, prepared. There are some requirements that you need to have prior before being referred to this role. So it's very, very important that you have a pen and paper, if you have one, to write these down. However, we will send it out as well. You need to be fully vaccinated, so that both Hep Bs, so you get 2 shots of Hep Bs, your varicella, pertussis, measles, mumps. Part of getting your first Hep B is there is a 4-week interval between the first Hep B and the second Hep B. We will send the paperwork out to you and attach that BPD evidence guide this afternoon on the email, to make sure that you understand the difference between and the timeframes between each vaccination. In order for you to be eligible for Queensland Health, you must be fully vaccinated. And the only reason why I say that is if you struggle getting needles or cannot get these vaccinations done, I strongly recommend that you speak to your employment coach, or just send through a message through to our chat, that I can answer any of your concerns around the vaccination. So even being referred to this role, you must have your first Hep B. So I strongly recommend that if you are interested, that you speak to your employment coach this afternoon to organize getting that first Hep B. As I mentioned earlier, there's a 4-week break. With the other vaccinations, you can get them at any time. So there is no timeframes in it. You can actually speak to your GP, or you might have already got it done when you were younger or as a child. Second one is police check, so a criminal history check. So obviously with Queensland Health, they are government roles. So part of their requirement is you must be able to pass a police check. They do a criminal history check on every single person that works at Queensland Health. So if you are unsure that you cannot pass a criminal history check, I strongly recommend you speak to your employment coach as well, and have one completed ASAP. So in saying that, they are open to if you have something on your criminal history check. It's just a matter of having that conversation with us. So they do check past the last 10 years. If you were not in Australia within that 10 years, they will go back to the country you were originally at. So, for example, you've been here for 4 years and you lived in America for 6 years, they will still backtrack to America to get that sorted so that they have a history of 10 years. In saying that, we have overturned a couple of criminal history checks where there was something on there that they actually could speak about. Yes, if you have a current one, that's great. However, Queensland Health complete their own one, but it's always good to have one with you so that it gives the employer a heads up that when they actually get a copy of their own, that they are expecting that there is nothing on there or that you're good to go, so they can actually get your paperwork started straight away. Yes, so part of what they do is they are happy to have a conversation if you do have something on your criminal history check. And that's a discussion you can actually have with me offline, or you can send a question through, or you could speak to your employment coach. It's so important that if you do have something on there that you let us know ASAP so that we can have a conversation, an open conversation with the employer. A next one is attendance, being part of the program. So going for these patient support, operational service assistant and food services role, you don't need to have a skill set. However, you do need to have the ability to want to be there. A part of these roles is we've actually created a program that you can actually jump into that will provide you the skills to complete the task before you actually commencing employment. So all Queensland Health is looking for is somebody that's reliable, somebody that's happy, somebody that wants to work, somebody that that is, that will go above and beyond in doing whatever the task are asked. You are fully trained during this program. You also complete a Cert 2 in health services to help upskill you in the near future. So in saying that, if you do go through the program and you complete the program, you get employed, but you've also completed your Cert 2, you have the ability to move on to another role or move on to another department with that skill set that you have completed during this program, which is the benefit of it. Available 24/7. So as we know, the hospital does not close, not even on Christmas. It doesn't close. They need somebody that will actually put their hand up for shifts, that want to be there. That is the biggest downfall for people that are currently employed with Queensland Health, is that there are a lot of shifts available, but not enough people to put up their hands for these shifts. So they're looking at that availability. You don't need to be available 24/7, but is having the ability to, when they call you, you will take that shift. And that's one of the key factors that they actually look at. Being able to get to and from work safely and reliable. So some of the hospital you do have access to public transport. Some hospitals you don't. For example, QB2 is a little bit harder to get to because their train station is about 10 k's away from where they are. The buses don't run until 6 a.m. So having reliable transport to and from hospital. Part of what they do is they have a duty of care. So they need to ask you that question on how you will get to and from your employment. What else is good to have for these roles? So communications with others. So as you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody on here has been to a hospital, you can tell that it is a diverse community. And you'll be working with a lot of different types of people in all walks of life. So the ability to respect teammates, workmates, colleagues, everyone on there is key. You need to be able to communicate with your supervisors, your team leaders, as well as your high bosses. Attention to detail, so making sure that what you do is what you need to do. So obviously you're working in a place that you have patients that are sick, obviously, but you need to make sure that if you're in food services that you are delivering the right food to that patient. If you're taking a patient to x-ray, that they get there in a timely manner. If you're moving an equipment somewhere, that it needs to be there in the time frame that it is provided. As I mentioned earlier, you will be trained in this during the program. And they will actually let you know what this looks like per each role. A great attitude. So we all know what a great attitude looks like. We need to make sure that we take that with us every single day if you are employed with Queensland Health. It is an environment that your best, that your attitude will determine the mood of a patient. So if you're happy, the patient will be happy. If you're angry, the patient will see that you're angry. So we need to make sure that we are, our attitude is taken with us every single day, a positive attitude, and it is a good environment to be in. So you'll be fine. Okay. Again, so just to quickly touch base on the 3-week pre-employment program. So I mentioned earlier that you will be going through a program. It is 3 weeks. So you get 3 days of where you'll complete your Cert 2 in health. You will do 2 days of mandatory training on the hospital. And then you'll do 10 days of buddy shifts. So these buddy shifts are all about you learning of somebody that has been employed for Queensland Health for 2 years plus. So part of that program is actually to get you started, to get you to know what it's like to work for Queensland Health. It is also what we like to call a second interview for yourself as well as for the employer. So I can tell you everything nice about Queensland Health, but once you actually get in there and you just might seem it's not for you, that is the whole point of the 3-week program, is determine whether you are suitable, whether you think you are suitable, and when the employer thinks you are suitable. So these 10-day buddy shifts, you'll be buddy with somebody from the hospital. You will complete about 4 to 5 hour shifts. It will be shift swaps. So you'll either be in the morning or you'll be in the afternoon. You will be in a couple of areas to see which area is suitable for you. However, you do get to select prior before going into the program what area you want to be in. During the 3-week program, you actually get full support from HELP as well as the employer. So it's not a scary thing where you actually go in and you're on your own. We will be there. You will see me as well as the relationship manager, Thomas, as well as the support person that will be assisting you during this time. Yeah, so I actually will be working from the hospitals where you actually get to utilize myself if you have any questions or queries. Part of why we created this program is to make sure that you actually get the training provided, you get the skill set that you require for this role to move on and to be successful. I think that's it for today. We've got a couple of questions. Please send your questions through, guys. So, Dean, I am prepared to do anything, haven't been stood down due to COVID-19. Will Queensland Health train people in these roles? I previously worked now for the Queensland Security Office back in 2003 months. I completed Unlearn Health. Absolutely. Look, I'll have a chat to, I think the biggest thing is having a chat to your employment coach. In regards to this, please make sure that your resume reflects this. If you do have a current resume, we can actually look at presenting you straight to the employer. You might have to complete a couple of days here and there just to determine, because it is a different department that you are currently in. Or we can look at if you would like to move from the Queensland Children's Hospital over to a PA or Metro North or whatever area you're currently in, we can actually look at that as well. But absolutely, you are fully trained in the role during this 3-week program. They will teach you the ins and outs of how to be successful in this role. And then they also give you feedback on what that looks like. But absolutely, you do get trained in this role. Yes, current police check, like I mentioned earlier, it's always good to have one. If you are unsure, please make sure that you let your employment coach know that you don't know if you have something on your criminal history check. Are they able to complete one for you? Queensland Health, again, they do their own. It's something that they need to do. It has to come from them. It won't cost you guys anything. For Queensland Health to complete this will actually go down on their books. So it's always good to have one. Any more questions? No? But just to let you know, while we've got more questions coming in, you will be covered. So part of the program, this program will cost roughly around about $2,000, which your employment coach will cover for you. You will be given uniform to wear, so you don't have to wear your own clothing. So that'll all be covered. We have a question. So Dean, can I ask how long you finished working at Ladies Salento? 2018. Okay, make sure it reflects your on your resume. Have it through, get your employment, have your conversation with your employment coach. You might need to check your vaccinations, because it was such a long time ago. You might need to get a booster on that, but it's always good to get a head start now. The programs will be commencing soon. There will be a vacancy coming out to you or your employment coaches, and also letting your employment coach that you are interested for Queensland Health. I missed the first 10 minutes or so. Where is this located? Okay, cool. So we have three areas. So Metro North, we have the STARS facility at Hurston, Royal Brisbane, and Prince Charles Hospital. That's in the north side. South side, we have PA, QE2, and we have Sunnybank. And in the west side, we have Westmoreland Hospital and Woolston Park at Goodnight. So those are the location. I'm in process of rolling into diploma nursing starting will this still be suitable for me? Absolutely. Which would be great to know. The employer is all about upskilling you. They don't want you to actually stay in the same role for more than probably 12 months. They will always give you an opportunity to progress into a different role if you smash out the role that you're actually in. But that is good to know, because I believe that we are currently in process of working with the hospital alongside AINs. All right, I had my Hep B back then. So remember, Hep B comes in 3 shots. To be eligible for this program, you need to get the first two. If you had your first one, I strongly recommend that you speak to your GP to get a blood test done on these specific vaccinations. So we will, again, I will touch base with you guys all in an email this afternoon, and I will attach the VPD evidence form so that you can actually speak to your doctor to see if you actually have these done, which will be good for you when the hospital vacancies come through. Car parking. Car parking has been an issue for years. So some hospitals do, and unfortunately, if I have to pay for car parking, I'm pretty sure you would have to pay for car parking. So some of the hospitals have car parking. So QE2 Hospital does, however, it's limited. So they have a section that is blocked out for employees. However, it's first in, first served, but then they have a lot of side streets. So the likes of PA and Royal Brisbane, unfortunately, they don't have car parking. They only have paid car parking. With Royal Brisbane, they do have side streets that you can actually park your car park. They have a staff parking, which you can actually speak to your supervisor if you are going into this program on how to access that. With the PA, you just don't have to pay for car parking. They have car parks there, but the best thing about these two hospitals is public transport is fully available. So you are able to catch public transport at these times, early times and late times of the night. So do you know when the training will be? Yes, we will send an email out to your employment coaches in the next couple of weeks or so. So part of the whole webinar is to get you guys prepared, to let you guys know that it's coming. We're just actually speaking to the employer right now and trying to sort it out prior before Christmas hitting. So with COVID, it kind of shifted their recruitment a bit back a little bit, which we're in the midst of working with now. So in the next week or probably 2 weeks max, there will be some vacancies coming out to your employment coach via Job Ready, but we need to make sure that you are prepared now. So as I mentioned, the biggest downfall is that Hep B shot. So your first Hep B, once you get it done, the waiting period for your next Hep B is 4 weeks. So if we actually speak to your employment coach to get that started now, you'll have less time to wait for your second, which will make you eligible for this program. So just to put it out there prior, to be eligible for this program is you need to make sure that you meet the requirements, which are your vaccinations, criminal history check, and attitude. So everything else will be taught to you during the program. So we need to just sort that out now. If you are interested, please, please, please speak to your employment coach straight after this webinar. Awesome. Great work, Amanda. Yes, that's great. Again, we'll send you an email so that you have a list of vaccinations on what you need to get checked on. It's literally just the blood test that your doctor is able to do, and they send it off and they'll come back with some results. They'll either tell you you need a booster or you immune to it. So, and it should take you about 24 to 48 hours to get that sorted. So Colin, I have had 3 years previous experience in a hospital orderly with masters private Almada, and I have my vaccination, but my back issues prevent me now from doing my work. Admin, yes, we can actually look into that for you. How bad is your back work, and do you have a reference from MARTA Private? We are currently a part of the 17 hospitals we work with is MARTA Private, so we can actually tap into them and have a conversation with them on what this looks like. Will they be willing to go for a reference under you? And then we can actually look at the hospitals that you do have the experience and that we can look at presenting you. So please make sure that your resume is up to date with everything that you've done at the Mater Hospital, and we'll have a look at that. When these vacancies come out, please make sure that you let us know. But it also be a conversation to have with the employment coach as to letting us know what type of admin you are interested in. I hope that answers your question. All right, Lindy, do you ever have a position in Gold Coast Hospitals? I was employed by neighborhoods. We were not really. Okay, awesome, Lindy. Please let us know. We've just completed a recruitment with Gold Coast Health. Are you currently still in there? Are you still employed, or were you contracted?
I think he was casual.
Casual. Okay, get your employment coach to send me all your details. I can look into that for you. We literally just completed a couple of weeks ago with Gold Coast Health, and we had some admin roles in there. Your employment coach would have known about these. However, send me some details. Get your employment coach to contact someone from the client vacancy coordinating team with all your details, what you've done, dates and everything, so that I can actually have a chat to the employer. Do we have any more questions? We still got a minute or so. No? Okay, cool. So just to a quick recap. So we will be sending you an email of the recording, and we will also attach some information on there. The biggest thing that I want you guys all to do right now is to speak to your employment coach. Give them a chat that you've just completed the Gold Coast Health webinar, and that you're very much interested and that you want to get started on the requirements. Yeah. Thank you everyone for jumping on. We really do appreciate you guys for taking your time to come out. We will have another one of these in a couple of weeks' time. Again, if you have any questions, happy for you guys to email me directly or contact your employment coach for any other questions that you couldn't answer. But just put it out there. It's really exciting to know that you guys are interested. Get it sorted, speak to your coaches, and we'll chat to you soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.